Welcome to Lavish Meadow, where the two of us, Charles and Frida, two big city kids, make our dreams come true of living more at one with nature and of learning a lot of new skills. We are complete beginners at all of this, so come and join us while we are making mistakes, celebrating small wins, and enjoying our property in the Baltics. So let's start at the beginning. This is our delivery van leaving the property.
And every great project starts with a delivery. So here you can see all of the wood that we ordered, and the first project we tackled was, well, building some furniture for construction. Also known as Sawhorses.
So Sawhorses, we saw a construction built by James Aloft on his channel, so we just looked that one up and kind of reconstructed.
Pretty straightforward. We invite you to watch that video that is linked below if you're interested in building this exact sawhorse.
They are pretty sturdy, as you will see in a minute when we're done with them.
We did not account for sawhorses in our bill of materials, so...
And of course we realized we need to make 2 of them.
Heavy, maybe?
A little bit heavy? How's it? Feel sturdy? Whoa!
So once we were done with the sawhorses, of course we continued with preparing where we actually wanted to build our outdoor kitchen.
And we are building the outdoor kitchen right next to our existing shed that we did not build, but the previous owner did.
Yeah, no credits to us here.
So the first step in building this outdoor kitchen for us was to cut all of the wood to measurement. I built a 3D model of what we wanted to build, so that definitely helped in allowing us to really cut everything to size before we got started.
And as you can see, we love to work both digitally and analog. I'm still the one with the pencil, yes. All the hard work is done by the women here. We think that PPE is very important.
And as you can see, this is the first time that I cut anything with the circular saw. Let's not forget to plug in the power.
And off we go. First time circular saw. Spot the mistake.
No, about right. Here I'm checking whether the blade was deep enough. That looks like a 1/4 of an inch.
And we changed the setup a little bit.
YouTube, look it up.
Start educating yourself.
This is not an educational program.
Definitely not.
Learnings.
Look at that. Perfect.
So we are aligning the edge, adding the speed square. So that's nice. Clamping our speed square, making sure that all of our cuts are right angles. And we did this a lot of times. As we've learned, we want the cut to not be supported. And then we got in a good rhythm with me cutting and Frida marking where I should cut.
Last one!
And then we also have the screw piles, but that is a task for tomorrow. Alright, this is our plan.
What is the plan?
Putting 4 screw piles in the ground.
Alright.
So these are the screw piles that we are going to try to drill in the ground here. They are basically used as a foundation for our outdoor kitchen, and they replace kind of pouring concrete and building a concrete foundation. Now the question is, are we going to be able to screw these in the ground? Because we have rebar which we can fit in this hole.
No electrical
and then
tool.
It is
Hopefully we have a level
human power.
Human power.
If we can get it in. Like this, and then we will be twisting.
Twisting, yeah.
Let's try it out.
Professionals have electrical tools for this, just FYI.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't, and the other thing, not only human power, but let's hope we don't hit a rock.
Because if we hit a rock, we obviously can't screw through a rock, so we will have to improvise.
Yep.
But just as an idea, this shed here behind us is also built with screw piles, so it can definitely hold the load. All right. Okay, back first or front first?
Back first, I would say, no?
Back first. Okay. Wait, I think the beginning I can push down a little bit.
Okay. Well, we can build a high outdoor kitchen.
And now we hit rebar stage, I think. Yeah. All right. Oh, that's a good idea.
No?
Yeah, great idea. And ultimately, we didn't get them much further down because the rebar was bending.
Which means we were super strong.
Correct. Speed square.
Yeah, so maybe here you see that the posts will be going in the screw piles, not the square base of the flooring, just to explain our design.
289.5.
This is 289. Cool.
Do you want to grab that corner?
Now it's on to painting, actually, and that's also super exciting because we researched a lot this one. I mean, more than we researched the circular saw. And we're going to use a little side dig at ourselves. And we're going to use some linseed oil and pine tar, because we do like the look of the graying shed itself, and also of this traditional method used in Japan, right? But like building a fire furnace, that's something that we don't feel comfortable with. And it should be very easy to apply, but we'll see.
And it's all local and natural products.
On top of that, yes. So we got some tar and linseed oil, both local from the Baltics. Yeah, you see we did not actually get that many liters, just 1 liter each. And surprisingly, we did find that it was enough for all of the material that we needed for the outdoor kitchen. We mixed it in a ratio of 50-50, which made it super easy for us, of course, but also because we wanted it to be quite dark with the tar. For that, you really just need a bucket, the materials, and because it's quite a liquid, you are recommended to use some brushes with quite a lot of bristles and also quite wide. And we found that actually the bigger one was the easier one or faster one to use. And here you see me mixing up the oil and the tar, and they emulsify pretty easily. So that's a super quick job. And then we started painting.
We found that painting the planed wood, like here, worked a lot easier and smoother than painting the rough wood that we used for the main beams and the main structure. It took a lot less oil to paint those, whereas the rough wood just soaked all of the linseed oil in and just took a lot more and made it quite a bit more difficult. So next time we'll just work with planed wood.
Definitely. But overall, it was not as time consuming as we thought.
Scrivo sildi ti acertei, vivia na segundos, via no mais
Yeah, I think I found another one. Here we go. Beautiful. Oh, and another one.
Ooh, nice one. So in the morning we took some cloth that we brought, just some old cotton sheets that we cut up, and used it to wipe down the boards. Of course there's excess oil, and you can either wait for a longer time for them to dry up, or you just wipe them down for the excess oil, ready for use basically. Public service announcement: linseed oil can self-combust, so you should really take care of all the stuff that you're using, because we're being super careful. We're just putting up our very watered cloth where our fire pit is.
Do you want to see how easily this washes?
Show us a demonstration. So yeah,
so we have some 18-in-1 soap that we're using for everything.
Just because we want to use something that's 100% biodegradable, obviously. It's super foamy soap, so usually we use it in a diluted state, as it suggests on the bottle itself.
In this case.
But in this case, because you already have so much oil on your hand, it's gonna be good to not be diluted. But yeah, basically that's the hand washing motion we all know, and afterwards you have clean hands. I was super surprised. It's so easy. So absolutely not comparable to traditional paint.
After a couple of days of preparing all of the wood, cutting it, painting it, getting everything ready with the screw piles, everything seemed to just happen very quickly. The whole structure got erected in just a couple of hours. It felt like we really made a massive step forward in just a couple of hours.
We did readjust the plans a little bit, I believe.
Yeah, like the shelving in the table were a little bit different in the plans, but overall we managed to get some wood from another part and make everything work with the cuts that we already made.
Okay. In she goes. Construction break! One of the top 3 things about Latvia is Kārums. This says new, but actually not a new flavor, just a seasonal flavor. Apple and cinnamon. And we're gonna try this one today because they didn't have my favorite. I don't know if I should tell you already, but they did not have my favorite. So I'm not gonna tell you which flavor that is. But we're gonna do a review. Obviously it's warm today, so the chocolate has already disintegrated a little bit. And 1, 2, 3.
In one word.
Autumnal. Rain or shine, we were here to finish our outdoor kitchen build. And we were quite lucky with the weather, to be honest. But everyone needs a break from construction. So we also made sure to enjoy the local activities.
Including some outdoor yoga.
Which is actually good for construction builders. You have to stretch your muscles.
This is our daily routine, which is getting water from our well. We're still doing it the old-fashioned way with a rope and a bucket and hoisting up all of the water. And yes, it is quite heavy, a bucket full of water. And we definitely need to do that a couple of times every day. But that's our only source of water, so we make do. We also found like a fuel funnel that we use to pour into our container. It's also quite handy actually to have this fuel funnel because it has a little mesh that sieves out like all of the dust and debris that is in our well.
And there he goes with our shower water and dishwashing water.
Next up is cutting the OSB for our roof.
And here you see us have our second lovely experience with the circular saw.
And we should have looked this up on YouTube too. Okay, the first one is cut.
Okay, don't do 2 at the same time. Or do it differently, not like us.
So, lesson learned. It's much easier to cut OSB when it's on the floor.
And board by board.
Yeah.
After that was done, of course, we went on to build the roof. But when I say we, I have to say that was mainly Charles' job.
Perfect.
Beautiful Gen Z angle.
Awesome. Not just my job, Frida helped too.
Little bit.
All in all, this went quite easily. We luckily had a decent ladder / scaffolding that allowed us to reach everywhere we needed to reach, even though sometimes it was a bit sketchy. That was easy. That was easy too. Alright, the middle one is unreachable. Can't reach it. Yeah, you can try if you want.
No.
A roof over our shed. OSB is obviously not weatherproof, so the next step in making our outdoor kitchen weatherproof is adding this aluminium roof, this profiled roof. Let's hope this holds. Okay, so far so good. Are you sending this to your mum? Our metal roof is now installed.
And then it was off to do the floorboards. We cut them to length and we made sure to have some even space in between all of the floorboards so that the water could drip off. And then you see me first using an impact drill. I later on preferred just using the regular screwdriver. But maybe we can do a video on what we would do better next time around. And here you can see one of the changes that we did in the design. Previously, this board would have sat more in the front, but actually I thought later this makes more sense to be in the back because then you have more space for your knees when standing in the kitchen and cooking. So for the lower shelf, we used also the same boards as we did for the flooring, and then we were taking a little break.
Nothing better than taking a swim on a hot day. Ready for a swim?
So ready. For the top, for design purposes, really, we chose the same wood that the cabin next to it had still left over from the build. And then we were off to buy the sink.
The sink is red.
Oh no,
What?
doesn't fit.
What do you mean it doesn't fit?
Doesn't fit. It's too big.
And there we went again to the hardware store to get a different siphon.
Once we had the right one, the installation was actually very easy, I have to say. As you can see here, we just made sure that the dishwasher or dishwashing water rather would end up not directly in the soil but be filtered through a couple of layers of pebbles and sand.
We have a little issue with like an invasive plant in Latvia, and so it was recommended to us to get rid of it before it formed some seeds. And so here you can see Frida completely going crazy and destroying all of the invasive plants, which we call Canada fern, even though it is not Canada fern. It's a Canadian plant, but we don't know what it's called. We'll call it Canada fern from now.
And here you can see Charles prepping our very first meal in our outdoor kitchen. We decided to make it as Baltic as possible with some buckwheat risotto and some mushrooms that we had picked in the forest. And the next day, Charles started to work on, what we can call the decorations. You can see using the same wood that was left over from the shed build to just make it a bit more cohesive. Yeah, we know it's an open structure, of course. Will be exposed to all kinds of weather, but so will the shed. So hopefully it looks somewhat cohesive, even though it was built much later.
And here I arranged all of the wood pieces on the ground so that it literally took no time to just attach all of these to our outdoor kitchen.
Oh yes, and with really the very last bits of wood, I also made this little staircase going up, but you can see, of course, this is really based in design on the very last bits of wood that we had left over. So here we go, our very first build together.
In our very first YouTube video. We hope you enjoyed it.
And come along for the ride if you want to.